Our brains run on autopilot for routine tasks, allowing us to function efficiently without thinking about every single action. But sometimes autopilot mode leads to such spectacularly idiotic decisions that you wonder how these people survived long enough to make these mistakes. 1. A man drove to his old job for 3 months after starting a new position because his morning routine was so automatic. Every single morning he'd get in the car and drive the familiar route without thinking. He'd arrive at his former workplace parking lot before realizing his mistake. His brain was so locked into the old commute pattern, it overrode conscious thought completely. He'd then have to drive across town to his actual new job, arriving late every day. Coworkers at the new job thought he was incredibly unreliable and lazy. His boss almost fired him for constant tardiness before he explained the situation. The old job's security guards recognized him and started waving as he pulled in daily. He tried leaving notes in his car reminding himself about the new location. His autopilot was so strong the notes didn't register in his awareness. He finally broke the pattern by having his wife call him every morning during the drive. The 3 months of wrong destination driving cost him hundreds in wasted gas. His new coworkers never let him forget the autopilot disaster. Performance reviews mentioned his adjustment period as a concerning pattern. His reputation at the new company was damaged before he'd really started. The autopilot commute became an embarrassing story he had to explain constantly. 2. A woman threw her car keys in the trash and walked out with the garbage bag, attempting to unlock her car with it. Her brain mixed up which hand held which item in her automatic routine. She stood in the parking lot clicking the trash bag at her car, confused why it wouldn't unlock. The keys were inside the dumpster with the rest of the building's garbage by the time she realized. Digging through commercial dumpsters to find her keys took 2 hours of disgusting searching. Her coworkers watched from windows as she climbed into the dumpster in business attire. The keys were at the very bottom of the dumpster naturally. Her clothes were ruined, and she smelled like garbage for the rest of the day. The building's security footage of her clicking the trash bag at her car went viral internally. She had to attend meetings smelling like refuse because she couldn't go home. Her autopilot brain had simply reversed which hand was supposed to do what. The parking lot security guard helped her search but couldn't stop laughing at the situation. Her car sat in the parking lot while she was literally in the trash. The key replacement would have been cheaper than her dry cleaning bills. Her boss suggested she take the rest of the day off due to the smell. The trash bag incident became legendary in her office building. 3. A teacher graded papers while eating breakfast and accidentally turned in her grocery list as the answer key. Her autopilot brain grabbed the wrong paper from the kitchen counter that morning. Students received their tests back with grades based on milk, eggs, and bread. The grocery list was in the same handwriting on similar paper, creating the confusion. Students were completely baffled by their test results showing grocery items. Her autopilot morning routine had processed the wrong document entirely. One student got an A for matching organic vegetables somehow. The confusion lasted an entire day before anyone questioned the grocery list grades. Parents called the school concerned about the bizarre grading system. Her principal had to send an apology email explaining the accident. Students had to retake the test because the grades were completely invalid. The actual answer key was found in her shopping cart at the grocery store. Store employees had been confused by the mathematical equations in the shopping cart. Her autopilot brain had successfully swapped the papers in both locations. The grocery list incident became a running joke among the students. Faculty meetings included reminders to double-check submitted paperwork. Her reputation as scatterbrained was cemented by the incident. The retake test had to be scheduled during lunch period, inconveniencing everyone. 4. A man brushed his teeth with hemorrhoid cream and put toothpaste on his hemorrhoids because the tubes looked similar. His autopilot bathroom routine grabbed the wrong tube in both locations. The hemorrhoid cream tasted absolutely disgusting, making him realize the error. His mouth burned from the medicated cream not meant for oral use. His actual hemorrhoids got minty fresh toothpaste instead of medical treatment. He had to call poison control about ingesting hemorrhoid medication. The medical hotline operator struggled not to laugh at his autopilot mistake. His wife found him frantically rinsing his mouth and couldn't stop laughing. The tubes were the same size and color, creating the perfect autopilot swap. His morning routine was so automatic his brain didn't verify what he was using. Poison control assured him the small amount wouldn't cause serious harm. His hemorrhoids felt tingly and fresh but weren't being treated properly. He had to redo his entire morning routine after the tube incident. His bathroom cabinet got reorganized with the tubes on completely different shelves. The story became family legend, retold at every gathering. His kids made jokes about his fresh hemorrhoids for years. The Autopilot tube swap was preventable, but his routine was too automatic. Medical advice included labeling tubes clearly to prevent future incidents. His wife bought him differently shaped tubes to avoid future confusion. 5. A woman poured orange juice into her cereal and milk into her coffee mug, simultaneously due to Autopilot breakfast preparation. Both hands were operating on automatic, doing completely wrong things. Her cereal became soggy with citric acid instead of milk. The coffee cup filled with milk without any coffee added. She took a bite of orange juice cereal before her brain registered the taste. The awful combination made her spit out the acidic cereal immediately. Her Autopilot had crossed the morning beverage streams completely. The milk in the coffee mug sat there white and useless. She'd wasted both breakfast items through Autopilot malfunction. Her morning routine was so automatic, consciousness wasn't involved at all. The orange juice box and milk carton were similarly shaped, causing the confusion. Her family walked into the kitchen, finding her staring at ruined breakfast. The cereal was inedible and had to be thrown away completely. Starting breakfast over made her late for work. Her Autopilot brain had efficiently ruined breakfast in record time. The family started joking about her special orange juice cereal recipe. Morning routines required more conscious attention after the incident. She labeled the juice and milk containers to prevent future confusion. Her Autopilot breakfast preparation couldn't be trusted anymore. The cereal brand sent her replacement coupons after she complained online. The incident made her question all her automatic morning behaviors. 6. A man drove to the bank intending to deposit a check, but went through the ATM lane trying to order a burger meal. His Autopilot confused the bank drive-thru with fast food. He spoke into the ATM speaker asking for a cheeseburger and fries. The bank teller on the other end was completely confused by the food order. He couldn't understand why the restaurant wasn't responding to his order. Other cars behind him honked as he argued with the ATM about burger availability. His brain had completely confused which drive-thru location he was at. The bank teller finally explained he was at a bank, not a restaurant. His embarrassment was compounded by the line of cars witnessing the confusion. The ATM camera recorded his entire burger ordering attempt for security footage. Bank employees replayed the footage during their lunch break for entertainment. His Autopilot had grabbed the wrong driving script for the situation. The check deposit was forgotten in his confusion about the lack of burgers. He drove away without completing his actual banking business. The story spread through the bank's local branches within days. He avoided that bank location for months after the incident. His friends never let him forget about ordering burgers from the ATM. Drive-thru Autopilot had completely overridden his actual purpose. The bank used his footage in training videos about customer confusion. His burger order at the bank became legendary in the community. 7. A teacher called the school principal Mom during a serious meeting about budget cuts. Her Autopilot brain used the wrong authority figure title automatically. The principal stared at her in complete confusion after being called Mom. Other teachers in the meeting struggled not to laugh at the mistake. Her face turned bright red, realizing what she'd just said. The serious budget discussion was derailed by the awkward title error. Her Autopilot had associated authority figures with parental terms. The principal made a joke about not being old enough to be her mother. The meeting atmosphere changed from serious to uncomfortable after the slip. She tried to continue the discussion, but everyone was suppressing laughter. Her professional credibility took a hit from the childhood regression. The mom incident was repeated in the teacher's lounge for weeks. Students somehow found out and started calling the principal Mom too. The trend of calling the principal Mom spread throughout the school. Administration had to send emails asking students to use proper titles. Her Autopilot mistake created a school-wide phenomenon. Parent-teacher conferences became awkward with the Mom Association. The principal eventually embraced the nickname after fighting it failed. Her one Autopilot word changed the entire school's dynamic. Professional meetings were never quite as serious after the incident. The budget cuts were approved, but nobody remembered the details. 8. A man answered his work phone with his wife's pet name Snookums during a conference call with executives. His Autopilot phone greeting used his home script at work. The CEO on the other end asked who Snookums was with confusion. His co-workers on the call heard him call the CEO Snookums. The professional conference call atmosphere evaporated instantly. His attempt to recover made the situation worse by over-explaining. The executives were baffled by being greeted as Snookums. His Autopilot had mixed his personal and professional phone greetings. The call recording was saved and replayed in the office for entertainment. His wife found the story hilarious when he explained the disaster. His professional reputation suffered from the Snookums incident permanently. Executives referenced the greeting in future meetings jokingly. His Autopilot brain had failed to distinguish home from work calls. The pet name became his unofficial nickname around the office. Conference calls required extra concentration to avoid future pet names. His co-workers created fake business cards with Snookums as his title. The incident was retold at company parties as legendary awkwardness. His wife occasionally called him at work asking for Snookums. The Autopilot greeting became his most embarrassing professional moment. Client relationships were strained by his reputation for inappropriate greetings. Professional development included recommendations for work-life separation. 9. A woman tried to unlock her house with her car key fob for 5 minutes before realizing houses don't have remote locks. Her Autopilot brain expected the house to unlock like her car. She stood on her porch, clicking the fob, increasingly frustrated. Her neighbors watched her click the remote at her door repeatedly. She even tried different buttons, hoping one would unlock the house. Her Autopilot routine had mixed up which keys went where. The house key was in her hand, but her brain insisted on using the fob. She walked around the house, clicking the fob at different doors. Her neighbor finally asked if she needed help after watching the display. The embarrassment of explaining her Autopilot error was humiliating. Her brain had been so automatic it expected houses to work like cars. The 5 minutes of clicking the fob was watched by multiple neighbors. Her reputation in the neighborhood took a hit from the incident. The neighbor's Ring camera caught the entire fob-clicking episode. The footage was shared in the neighborhood group chat for laughs. Her Autopilot had completely overridden logical thinking. She'd driven home and her brain never switched from car mode. The house key worked normally once she consciously selected it. Her family mocked her for trying to remote unlock the house. The incident made her question all her automatic behaviors. Technology addiction jokes followed her around the neighborhood. 10. A man put his phone in the refrigerator and the milk carton in his pocket before leaving for work. His Autopilot morning routine had completely reversed item placement. He discovered the milk in his pocket during his commute when it started leaking. The milk soaked through his pants, creating an embarrassing stain. His phone was found hours later in the refrigerator, perfectly chilled. His Autopilot brain had swapped the items without any conscious awareness. The milk-soaked pants made his morning meeting extremely uncomfortable. Coworkers asked about the smell and wetness in his pants area. His explanation about Autopilot milk pocketing sounded completely absurd. The phone in the fridge was discovered by his wife later that day. His morning routine had efficiently placed everything in wrong locations. The milk carton shape was similar enough to his phone to confuse Autopilot. His pants were ruined by the milk leaking throughout the morning. Professional meetings were awkward with milk-soaked business casual attire. His reputation at work suffered from the unexplained milk incident. The phone worked fine despite hours of refrigeration. His Autopilot morning routine couldn't be trusted with multiple items. Family instituted a morning checklist to prevent future item swaps. The milk phone swap became a frequently retold family story. His Autopilot brain had optimized for speed over accuracy. Morning consciousness became a priority after the incident. 11. A woman threw her sandwich into the trash and tried to eat the wrapper at her desk while working. Her Autopilot lunch routine had reversed the eating and disposal steps. She bit into the plastic wrapper before realizing the actual food was gone. The sandwich was sitting in the trash can under other garbage. Her Autopilot had efficiently thrown away lunch while keeping the wrapper. Coworkers watched her bite the wrapper in confused silence. The sandwich retrieval from the trash was witnessed by her team. Her lunch was contaminated by coffee grounds and other trash items. The autopilot reversal had destroyed her lunch completely. She had to explain why she'd thrown away perfectly good food. The wrapper biting was caught on security cameras in the office. Her reputation for competence took a hit from the incident. The lunchroom incident became a cautionary tale about workplace autopilot. Her attempt to clean the sandwich and eat it anyway failed. The trash sandwich became her meal requiring a food delivery order. Her autopilot brain had optimized the wrong parts of lunch routine. Conscious eating became necessary after the wrapper incident. Coworkers started checking her lunch disposal to prevent repetition. The sandwich throwaway became office legend for months. Her autopilot malfunction cost her lunch and dignity simultaneously. Professional meetings that afternoon were hungry and embarrassed. 12. A teacher handed back graded tests by throwing them like frisbees because he'd been playing disc golf all weekend. His autopilot brain used weekend activities in professional settings. Students ducked as tests flew across the classroom in all directions. The professional test return became chaotic disc golf practice. Papers landed on floors, desks, and some flew out windows. His autopilot had imported recreational muscle memory into teaching. Students were confused and entertained by the frisbee test return. Several tests were damaged by the throwing landing in odd locations. His teaching professionalism vanished during the autopilot throwing session. The principal walked by during the paper, throwing creating awkward explanations. His weekend disc golf practice had overridden normal teaching behaviors. Tests were lost and required reprinting after the throwing incident. Student parents complained about disrespectful test return methods. His autopilot brain had seen papers as discs needing throwing. Professional development required after the frisbee teaching incident. His reputation as a professional educator was questioned by administration. The throwing tests became a story students told for years. His autopilot weekend activities had invaded weekday professional behavior. Conscious control of paper distribution became necessary going forward. The incident was referenced in his annual performance review. 13. A man said, "I love you" to his Uber driver when getting out because his autopilot phone ending script activated. His brain's automatic phone conclusion phrase applied to wrong situations. The Uber driver looked completely confused by the love declaration. His wife was usually on the other end of those words. The driver asked if he was feeling all right after the love confession. His embarrassment was compounded by the driver's concerned expression. His autopilot had used phone conversation enders in person. The awkward moment lingered as he scrambled out of the car. The driver's rating of him mentioned the unusual emotional passenger. His autopilot brain had grabbed the wrong ending script entirely. The "love you" phrase was so automatic it activated inappropriately. His reputation with that Uber driver was permanently awkward. Future rides with that driver would be uncomfortable reminders. His autopilot social scripts were dangerously unreliable. The story spread among his friends as legendary awkwardness. His wife found the Uber love confession hilarious. Professional Uber behavior required more conscious control after that. The driver's confusion was entirely justified by the random love declaration. His autopilot endings needed better situational awareness programming. Social interactions required verification of appropriate conclusion phrases. The "love you" to strangers became his most embarrassing autopilot fail. 14. A woman tried to swipe her credit card through the TV remote thinking it was the card reader at checkout. Her autopilot brain had completely confused the objects in her hands. The TV remote was swiped multiple times at the checkout counter. Cashiers and other customers watched the remote swiping with confusion. She couldn't understand why payment wasn't processing correctly. Her credit card was in her other hand, unused. The autopilot confusion lasted embarrassingly long before recognition hit. The checkout line backed up during her remote control swiping attempts. Other shoppers were getting impatient with the payment malfunction. Her brain had grabbed the wrong swiping script completely. The similar rectangular shape had confused her autopilot completely. Cashiers had to point out she was swiping a remote, not a card. Her embarrassment was witnessed by a dozen people in line. The TV remote swiping became store employee break room entertainment. Her autopilot brain had optimized speed over object recognition. Future shopping trips required conscious verification of payment methods. The remote swipe incident was told to friends as ultimate autopilot failure. Her family never let her forget about paying with the remote control. The autopilot object confusion showed how little awareness routine actions required. Shopping consciousness became necessary after the remote incident. Her reputation at that store was forever the remote control lady. 15. A man tried to microwave his car keys and drive away with leftover pizza because his autopilot reversed kitchen and garage items. His morning routine had completely scrambled object handling. The keys went into the microwave for the standard leftover heating time. The pizza box was in his hands as he approached the car. The microwave sparked and died from the metal keys inside. His autopilot had treated keys and food identically. The realization came only after the microwave was destroyed. The car sat in the garage while keys were being microwaved. His attempt to unlock the car with pizza was equally unsuccessful. The morning efficiency had catastrophically failed on both fronts. The destroyed microwave required immediate replacement. His wife discovered the smoking microwave with keys inside. The pizza box couldn't start the car no matter how much he tried. His autopilot brain had perfectly reversed the morning routine. The key replacement and microwave costs exceeded several $100s. His reputation for morning competence was destroyed. Family instituted supervision for his morning routines going forward. The microwaved keys incident became legendary family lore. His autopilot efficiency had optimized straight into disaster. Morning routines required complete conscious attention after the incident. The pizza keys swap showed the dangers of automatic behavior. 16. A teacher wrote her grocery list on the whiteboard instead of the day's lesson plan because her autopilot confused the surfaces. Her autopilot brain treated all writing surfaces identically in the morning. Students arrived to find milk, eggs, bread, coffee as today's lesson. The actual lesson plan was written on her kitchen notepad at home. Her teaching autopilot had grabbed the wrong writing script entirely. Students were confused about the grocery list lesson objectives. The whiteboard groceries stayed up through first period before anyone mentioned it. Her teaching reputation took a hit from the grocery list class. The lesson planning had happened in the wrong location completely. Her kitchen and classroom had merged in autopilot brain. Students took photos of the grocery list lesson, sharing them online. Parents received confused messages about grocery shopping homework. Her autopilot writing routine needed better location awareness. The real lesson plan was discovered during lunch taped to her fridge. Teaching consciousness required verification of location-appropriate content. The grocery list incident was retold in faculty meetings. Her classroom management was questioned after the grocery board. Students joked about grocery shopping being today's subject. The autopilot surface confusion showed routine's complete automation. Professional teaching required fighting autopilot convenience going forward. The whiteboard groceries became her most embarrassing teaching moment. 17. A man answered his door in his underwear because his autopilot thought he was just getting something from his bedroom. His morning routine brain hadn't registered the doorbell context change. Delivery drivers witnessed his underwear answer with shock. His autopilot had responded to sound without processing location. The package delivery became extremely awkward for both parties. His neighbor across the street saw the underwear door answer. The delivery person's face showed complete discomfort with the situation. His autopilot brain had skipped the clothing verification step. The doorbell sound had triggered answer response without context. His embarrassment was compounded by the neighbor witnessing. The delivery driver left faster than necessary after the interaction. His reputation in the neighborhood dropped significantly. Future deliveries were left without requiring signatures after the incident. His autopilot door answering needed clothing consciousness added. The underwear answer became neighborhood gossip within hours. His wife was horrified hearing about his morning greeting attire. Home delivery required pants verification going forward. The incident made him legendary in the local delivery driver community. His autopilot response had ignored appropriate public presentation. Morning routines required conscious clothing checks before door answering. The underwear delivery guy became his shame nickname in the neighborhood. 18. A woman tried to pay for groceries with her gym membership card because the autopilot card grabbing was wrong. Her wallet autopilot selected the wrong rectangular plastic. The gym card was swiped multiple times at the payment terminal. Cashiers watched her confused attempts to pay with the wrong card. Her credit cards were in the same wallet, but autopilot grabbed the wrong one. The gym membership wouldn't process payment no matter how many tries. Her autopilot brain had grabbed the first card touched. The checkout process was delayed by the wrong card attempts. Other customers waited while she swiped the gym card repeatedly. The realization came only after multiple failed payment attempts. Her embarrassment was witnessed by everyone in line. The gym card and credit card felt identical to Autopilot fingers. Her payment Autopilot needed better card discrimination programming. Future shopping required conscious card verification before swiping. The gym card payment attempt became her checkout shame story. Cashiers recognized her as the gym card payment lady afterward. Her Autopilot efficiency had selected speed over accuracy completely. The card confusion showed how automatic routine actions truly were. Shopping consciousness meant verifying card type before attempting payment. The checkout gym card incident taught her Autopilot limitations clearly. 19. A man brushed his dog's teeth and tried to give his dog his own toothbrush because morning bathroom Autopilot reversed them. His morning routine brain had completely swapped human and pet dental care. The dog's special pet toothpaste went into his own mouth. His regular toothpaste was squeezed onto the dog's brush. The pet toothpaste tasted like meat flavoring, making him gag. The dog was confused why human toothpaste was being offered. His Autopilot routine had treated both dental activities identically. The realization came after tasting the meat-flavored dog toothpaste. His bathroom routine had efficiently swapped all the dental items. The dog refused the human toothpaste as equally wrong. His wife found him gagging on pet dental products in confusion. The morning dental routine had become a complete disaster. His Autopilot brain had optimized dental care without species awareness. The bathroom organization required complete revision after the incident. His morning routine consciousness needed verification steps added. The dog toothpaste incident became family breakfast conversation frequently. His dental hygiene Autopilot couldn't distinguish human from pet anymore. Morning bathroom activities required conscious verification going forward. The toothpaste swap showed the complete automation of daily routines. His reputation for morning competence was questioned by family. The pet dental confusion became his most embarrassing bathroom Autopilot fail. 20. A woman tried to unlock her neighbor's identical car for 10 minutes before realizing it wasn't hers. Her parking lot Autopilot had selected the wrong same model vehicle. The key fob wouldn't unlock the neighbor's identical silver sedan. She tried every door and the trunk with increasing frustration. Her actual car was parked 2 spots away unnoticed. The Autopilot parking location memory had minor position error. Her neighbor watched from their window as she tried to break into their car. The 10 minutes of failed unlocking was entirely unnecessary. Her Autopilot brain had grabbed the wrong but similar car completely. The neighbor came out asking why she was trying to enter their vehicle. Her embarrassment was complete when shown her actual car nearby. The identical car models had defeated her Autopilot recognition system. Her parking spot memory was close but catastrophically wrong. The neighbor joked about her attempted car theft for months afterward. Her Autopilot car finding needed better verification programming. Future parking lot navigation required license plate checking. The wrong car incident became her legendary parking fail story. Her reputation in the apartment complex suffered from the attempted break-in. The Autopilot similarity matching had failed completely under pressure. Parking consciousness meant verifying actual car identity before unlocking attempts. The 10-minute wrong car struggle taught her Autopilot's limitations. 21. A teacher accidentally taught the next day's lesson because his Autopilot grabbed the wrong day's materials. His morning routine brain had advanced the calendar one day too far. Students learned Tuesday's content on Monday without anyone noticing initially. The actual Monday lesson sat unused in his bag. His Autopilot teaching routine had skipped a whole day ahead. The error was discovered during planning when Tuesday's lesson was already taught. Students were confused about schedule discrepancies the next day. His teaching timeline had been shifted by Autopilot error. The Monday lesson had to be abandoned as already covered. His curriculum pacing was thrown off by the day confusion. Students who were absent Monday missed Tuesday's lesson entirely. His Autopilot morning prep had efficiently taught the wrong day. The lesson planning routine needed better date verification systems. Professional teaching required conscious calendar checking going forward. The wrong day lesson became his scheduling embarrassment story. Faculty meetings included reminders about teaching calendar awareness. His Autopilot efficiency had created curriculum chaos completely. The day ahead teaching showed routines complete automation. Students joked about his ability to time travel in curriculum. Teaching consciousness meant verifying actual date before lesson delivery. The Tuesday on Monday incident taught him Autopilot's dating failures. 22. A man poured coffee directly into his briefcase instead of his travel mug because Autopilot confused the morning containers. His kitchen routine brain had targeted the wrong receptacle completely. The briefcase filled with hot coffee destroying documents inside. His travel mug sat empty on the counter unused. The Autopilot pouring routine had selected briefcase over mug. The realization came only after the coffee finished pouring. His work documents were coffee-soaked and completely ruined. The briefcase interior required professional cleaning after coffee saturation. His morning efficiency had catastrophically destroyed his work materials. Important client presentations were lost to the coffee pour disaster. His Autopilot container selection had failed spectacularly. The similar rectangular shapes had confused automatic pouring routine. His workday was derailed before even leaving the house. The briefcase coffee incident cost hundreds in document reproduction. His professional reputation suffered from missing the ruined materials. Morning routine consciousness required container verification before pouring. The coffee briefcase disaster became his legendary morning fail story. His family never trusted his Autopilot morning routines again. The pouring automation had optimized straight into briefcase destruction. Kitchen consciousness meant verifying target container before liquid dispensing. The travel mug briefcase swap taught him Autopilot's targeting errors. 23. A woman tried to start her lawnmower with house keys and unlock her house with the mower pull cord because Autopilot mixed up the starting methods. Her weekend routine brain had completely reversed starting procedures. The house keys were inserted into the mower's ignition area repeatedly. The lawnmower pull cord was yanked near the door lock uselessly. Her Autopilot had confused which starting method went where. The lawnmower wouldn't start with house keys no matter how many attempts. The front door remained locked despite aggressive pull cord yanking. Her neighbor watched the confused starting attempts with bewilderment. The realization took embarrassingly long to arrive naturally. Her Autopilot brain had perfectly reversed the starting scripts. The house key mower start attempts were witnessed by multiple neighbors. The pull cord door unlocking was equally unsuccessful, obviously. Her weekend routine had efficiently confused all starting procedures. The lawnmower keys and house pull cord were equally wrong. Her neighborhood reputation took a hit from the starting confusion. Weekend consciousness required verification of appropriate starting methods. The mower key door cord incident became her yard work shame story. Her family mocked her inability to distinguish starting procedures. The Autopilot method mixing had optimized straight into dual failure. Yard work consciousness meant verifying correct starting method before attempting. The starting confusion taught her Autopilot's complete method blindness clearly. 24. A man tried to pet a cactus thinking it was his cat because his Autopilot hand reached out without looking. His living room routine brain had expected cat in that location. The cactus spines embedded in his hand instantly. His cat was actually sleeping on the opposite side of the room. The Autopilot petting routine had attacked the wrong object catastrophically. The handful of cactus spines required medical attention. His living room navigation Autopilot had failed object recognition completely. The petting motion was so automatic it ignored sensory feedback initially. The cactus and cat occupied similar floor positions, confusing Autopilot. His wife found him extracting cactus spines while the cat watched. The Autopilot petting routine needed better target verification systems. Future living room navigation required visual confirmation before petting. The cactus petting incident became his plant-related injury story. His family questioned his ability to distinguish plants from animals. The Autopilot reaching had optimized straight into cactus hand. Living room consciousness meant verifying pet location before automatic petting. The cat-cactus confusion showed routine's complete sensory disregard. His hand required professional spine removal after the incident. Pet interaction Autopilot needed substantial safety improvements immediately. The petting disaster taught him Autopilot's complete target blindness. 25. A teacher collected homework by walking around eating pieces of paper instead of placing them in her folder because Autopilot mixed routines. Her classroom routine brain had confused paper handling scripts completely. Students watched in horror as she chewed and swallowed their homework. The folder remained empty while homework entered her digestive system. Her autopilot had merged eating lunch with collecting papers. The paper eating continued for multiple desks before awareness returned. Students were too shocked to interrupt the homework consumption initially. The chewing and swallowing were automatic without taste processing. Her autopilot brain had treated paper like lunch food. The homework collection had efficiently destroyed student work completely. Students complained about their homework being literally eaten by teacher. The paper consumption required medical consultation about digestion. Her teaching reputation never recovered from the homework eating incident. Professional development couldn't address eating student work issues. The folder paper confusion had automated straight into consumption. Classroom consciousness required verification of paper destination before handling. The homework eating became legendary in school district history. Students demanded video evidence to prove homework consumption. The collection eating routine showed autopilot's complete script confusion. Teaching required fighting lunch, eating autopilot during paper collection. The eaten homework incident became her career-defining embarrassment permanently. 26. A man tried to unlock his front door by swiping his access card like at work because autopilot ignored the different security systems. His arrival home routine brain used workplace entry script automatically. The access card was swiped against the door lock repeatedly without success. His house keys remained in his pocket completely unused. The autopilot door unlocking had grabbed the wrong security method. The door wouldn't open despite multiple aggressive card swipes. His neighbor watched him swipe a card against a traditional lock. The realization took several minutes of failed swiping attempts. His autopilot brain had expected card readers on all doors. The home entry routine had efficiently used workplace security procedure. The access card house unlock became his technology confusion story. His family mocked his inability to remember home entry methods. The similar door approaching had triggered wrong unlocking script completely. Home consciousness required verification of appropriate unlocking method. The card swipe door incident became his daily embarrassment. His commute home apparently erased home security method memory. The autopilot security mixing had optimized straight into traditional lock confusion. Door unlocking consciousness meant distinguishing home from work systems. The access card house attempt taught him autopilot's security system blindness. His reputation for competent home entry was permanently questioned. 27. A woman tried to eat her phone and scroll through her sandwich because autopilot reversed the lunch and entertainment objects. Her break routine brain had perfectly swapped device and food. The phone was raised to her mouth for biting repeatedly. The sandwich sat on the desk with fingers swiping across it. Her autopilot had confused which object served which purpose. The phone screen remained unchewed despite multiple bite attempts. The sandwich wouldn't scroll no matter how many swipes. Coworkers watched her try to bite her phone with concern. The lunch entertainment routine had efficiently reversed all object purposes. The realization came only after colleagues intervened verbally. Her break routine automation had treated phone and sandwich identically. The similar rectangular shapes had defeated autopilot object recognition. Her lunch break had efficiently failed at both eating and entertainment. Professional reputation suffered from the phone-eating sandwich scrolling display. Break consciousness required verification of object purposes before using. The phone sandwich swap became her lunchroom legendary fail. Her family questioned her ability to distinguish food from electronics. The autopilot object mixing had optimized straight into dual-purpose failure. Lunch consciousness meant verifying edibility before bite attempts. The entertainment food confusion taught her autopilot's purpose blindness. 28. A teacher graded papers by stamping them with the date stamp instead of grade stamps because autopilot grabbed wrong stamps. His grading routine brain had confused the rubber stamp purposes completely. Student papers received perfect date stamps as their grades. The actual grade stamp sat unused in his desk drawer. His autopilot had treated all stamps as interchangeable tools. The papers were marked with today's date instead of grades or feedback. Students received graded papers showing only the date stamped repeatedly. The grade meaning was completely absent from the stamped papers. His autopilot grading routine had efficiently stamped the wrong information entirely. The confusion lasted through an entire class set before discovery. Students complained about date stamps instead of grades, obviously. His teaching reputation took a hit from the stamping confusion. Professional grading required conscious stamp verification going forward. The date grade stamp became his marking embarrassment story. Faculty meetings included reminders about appropriate grading tools. His Autopilot stamp grabbing had optimized straight into date marking. Grading consciousness meant verifying stamp type before paper marking. The grade date confusion showed routine's complete tool purpose blindness. Students joked about being graded with calendar dates permanently. The stamping disaster taught him Autopilot's complete tool discrimination failure clearly. 29. A man tried to shower with his clothes on because his Autopilot skipped the undressing step entirely. His morning routine brain had jumped straight to washing phase. The water soaked his business clothes completely before awareness returned. His towel waited unused outside the shower for naked person. The Autopilot showering routine had efficiently skipped clothing removal completely. The fully dressed shower lasted several minutes before realization hit. His clothes were completely waterlogged, requiring re-washing and drying. The morning timeline was destroyed by the dressed shower disaster. His Autopilot brain had optimized shower entry over undressing. The business clothes were potentially ruined by the unplanned washing. His wife found him standing in the shower fully dressed. The morning routine automation had bypassed the clothing removal step entirely. Professional meetings were delayed by the redressing necessity. His reputation for morning competence was thoroughly questioned. Morning consciousness required verification of undressed state before showering. The clothed shower incident became his routine automation shame story. His family instituted shower readiness checks after the incident. The Autopilot undressing skip had optimized straight into clothing destruction. Shower consciousness meant verifying naked status before water starting. The dressed shower taught him Autopilot's step-skipping capability. 30. A woman tried to make coffee using the printer thinking it was the coffee maker, because Autopilot confused similar countertop appliances. Her morning routine brain had targeted the wrong rectangular kitchen device. Coffee grounds were poured into the printer's paper tray. Water was added to the printer expecting coffee production. Her Autopilot had treated printer and coffee maker as interchangeable appliances. The printer sparked and died from the coffee ground water mixture. The actual coffee maker sat unused next to the destroyed printer. The morning coffee routine had efficiently destroyed office equipment completely. Her Autopilot appliance selection had catastrophically failed object recognition. The printer replacement cost several $100s unnecessarily. Her morning efficiency had optimized straight into expensive equipment destruction. The coffee grounds clogged the printer mechanisms permanently. Her reputation for morning competence was forever damaged. Kitchen consciousness required appliance verification before operation. The printer coffee incident became her morning automation disaster story. Her family never trusted her with appliances after the confusion. The similar rectangular shapes had defeated Autopilot appliance recognition completely. Morning consciousness meant distinguishing printing from brewing before adding ingredients. The coffee printer destruction taught her Autopilot's appliance blindness clearly. Her office productivity suffered without the printer she destroyed. 31. A teacher tried to take attendance by putting students' names on the lunch menu because Autopilot confused the morning list tasks. His classroom routine brain had mixed up all morning documentation. Student names appeared on the cafeteria lunch options instead of attendance sheet. The actual attendance roster remained blank while lunch got personalized. His Autopilot had treated both lists as identical documentation tasks. The cafeteria staff was confused by student names as food items. Students saw their names listed as today's lunch special, surprisingly. The attendance records were missing while cafeteria got roster instead. His morning routine had efficiently created documentation chaos completely. The confused lists required hours of administrative correction. His teaching reputation suffered from the attendance lunch mixing. Professional organization required conscious list verification going forward. The attendance menu incident became his morning documentation shame. Faculty meetings referenced his list confusion as cautionary tale. His Autopilot documentation had optimized straight into categorical chaos. Morning consciousness meant verifying list purposes before name recording. The student lunch names confusion showed routine's complete list blindness. Administrative staff questioned his organizational competence after incident. The attendant's cafeteria swap taught him Autopilot's document discrimination failure. His morning lists required substantial conscious supervision after disaster. 32. A man tried to shave using a butter knife because his autopilot grabbed the wrong silver object from the drawer. His bathroom routine brain had confused similarly shaped implements completely. The butter knife scraped across his face, causing irritation and cuts. His actual razor remained in the drawer unused and correct. The autopilot tool grabbing had selected wrong sharp silver implement. The shaving motion proceeded despite wrong tool usage initially. The realization came after significant facial irritation developed. His morning grooming routine had efficiently attacked his face with flatware. The butter knife shave left cuts and burns requiring treatment. His autopilot brain had treated all drawer silver objects identically. The similar shapes had defeated proper tool selection completely. His face showed evidence of the butter knife shaving attempt clearly. Professional meetings showed obvious shaving injury to colleagues. His grooming reputation took a hit from the visible facial damage. Bathroom consciousness required tool verification before face application. The butter knife shave became his grooming automation disaster story. His family questioned his ability to select appropriate grooming tools. The autopilot implement grabbing had optimized straight into facial injury. Shaving consciousness meant verifying razor identity before skin contact. The knife-razor confusion taught him autopilot's tool-type blindness clearly. His face required days of healing from the butter knife grooming. 33. A woman tried to answer her TV remote thinking it was her ringing phone because autopilot confused rectangular devices. Her living room routine brain had grabbed the wrong handheld rectangle. The TV remote was pressed against her ear during the conversation attempt. Her actual phone continued ringing from across the room unnoticed. The autopilot phone answering had selected the wrong device completely. The TV remote call lasted embarrassingly long before awareness returned. Her confused hello into the remote was witnessed by family. The phone call went to voicemail during the remote conversation. Her autopilot brain had treated both rectangles as communication devices. The similar shapes had defeated proper device selection entirely. Her communication reputation suffered from the remote phone confusion. Family members mocked her for answering the TV remote. The device confusion showed autopilot's complete purpose blindness. Living room consciousness required device verification before answering. The remote phone call became her technology confusion story. Her children recorded her talking into the remote for social media. The autopilot device grabbing had optimized straight into wrong rectangle selection. Communication consciousness meant distinguishing phones from remotes before answering. The TV phone confusion taught her autopilot's device type blindness. Her family never let her forget about the remote control conversation. 34. A teacher erased students instead of the whiteboard because his autopilot arm movement targeted wrong surfaces. His classroom routine brain had confused the erasing locations completely. The whiteboard eraser was rubbed across multiple students' faces and clothes. The actual whiteboard remained unchanged with yesterday's notes still visible. His autopilot had treated students and board as equivalent erasable surfaces. The erasing motion proceeded automatically without target verification. Students were shocked by having their faces aggressively erased. The classroom cleaning routine had efficiently attacked students instead of board. The realization came only after several students were erased. His teaching reputation never recovered from the student erasing incident. Professional conduct reviews followed the erasing assault, obviously. The eraser student board confusion had automated straight into inappropriate touching. Classroom consciousness required surface verification before erasing initiation. The student board erase became his teaching career low point. Parents complained about teacher erasing their children's faces. His autopilot surface selection had catastrophically failed location recognition. Teaching required fighting board erasing autopilot around students. The erasing incident created mandatory personal space training. His reputation as professional educator was permanently questioned. The student eraser disaster taught him autopilot's surface target blindness. 35. A man tried to charge his sandwich in the phone charger because autopilot confused the objects needing power. His desk routine brain had treated lunch and devices identically. The sandwich was placed on the wireless charging pad repeatedly. His actual phone remained uncharged, sitting beside the sandwich. The autopilot charging routine had selected the wrong object completely. The sandwich wouldn't charge despite multiple repositioning attempts. His phone battery died while the sandwich got premium charging pad placement. Coworkers watched him try to charge his lunch with confusion. The desk routine had efficiently prioritized sandwich over phone charging. The realization came only after the phone died completely. His workplace reputation suffered from the sandwich charging display. Professional competence was questioned after the lunch charging attempt. The similar placement routine had defeated object purpose recognition completely. Desk consciousness required object verification before charging initiation. The sandwich charge incident became his workplace technology confusion story. His colleagues joked about his belief in electric food. The autopilot charging selection had optimized straight into lunch prioritization. Technology consciousness meant distinguishing food from devices before charging. The phone sandwich charging taught him autopilot's power need blindness. His lunch break became legendary for the charging sandwich attempt. 36. A woman tried to microwave her car keys and drive with leftover pizza because morning autopilot reversed the items perfectly. Her departure routine brain had swapped vehicle and food handling completely. The metal keys sparked dangerously in the microwave immediately. The pizza box was held near the car ignition expectantly. Her autopilot had confused which object needed which treatment entirely. The microwave damage from keys required expensive repairs. The pizza couldn't start the car despite multiple insertion attempts. Her morning efficiency had catastrophically reversed object purposes. The destroyed microwave and failed departure were equally problematic. Her autopilot brain had treated keys and food interchangeably. The similar morning handling had defeated proper object use completely. Her household reputation suffered from the microwave key destruction. Family members questioned her morning mental state after incident. The object confusion showed autopilot's complete purpose, discrimination failure. Morning consciousness required object verification before treatment application. The key pizza swap became her departure routine shame story. Her children instituted morning supervision after the microwave incident. The autopilot object handling had optimized straight into dual failure. Departure consciousness meant distinguishing keys from food before using. The microwave pizza driving taught her autopilot's object purpose blindness clearly. 37. A teacher called roll by reading the lunch menu names instead of student roster because autopilot confused the morning lists. His attendance routine brain had grabbed the wrong named list entirely. Students were confused hearing food items during attendance. The actual student roster remained unread while lunch was called. His autopilot had treated both named lists as interchangeable documents. The lunch menu names were called with perfect attendance procedure. Students exchanged confused looks during the food roll call. The attendance records remained incomplete while cafeteria got called. His morning routine had efficiently called the wrong names completely. The confusion lasted through the entire menu before awareness returned. His teaching reputation took a hit from the lunch attendance mixing. Professional organization required conscious list verification going forward. The menu roll call became his morning documentation embarrassment. Faculty members mocked his attendance taking with food names. His autopilot list reading had optimized straight into categorical confusion. Classroom consciousness meant verifying list identity before name calling. The student lunch confusion showed routine's complete list content blindness. Administrative records were incorrect due to the menu attendance. The attendance menu disaster taught him autopilot's document type blindness. His morning list required conscious discrimination after the incident. 38. A man tried to put gas in his shopping cart and groceries in his car's fuel tank because autopilot reversed the filling locations. His errands routine brain had perfectly swapped the filling procedures. The gas pump nozzle was inserted into the shopping cart basket. Grocery bags were being pushed toward the fuel tank opening. His autopilot had confused which container needed which contents entirely. The shopping cart wouldn't accept gasoline despite pump attempts. The fuel tank couldn't hold grocery bags no matter the effort. His parking lot efficiency had catastrophically reversed filling procedures. The gas station attendant watched the confused filling attempts worriedly. The realization came only after significant failed filling efforts. His errands reputation suffered from the reversed filling display. Fellow shoppers witnessed the shopping cart gas pumping attempt. The similar filling motions had defeated proper container recognition completely. Errand consciousness required container verification before filling initiation. The cart gas tank grocery became his shopping automation story. His family questioned his ability to distinguish filling procedures. The autopilot filling routine had optimized straight into dual confusion. Shopping consciousness meant verifying containers before content addition. The reversed filling taught him autopilot's container purpose blindness clearly. 39. A woman tried to water her laptop and type on her houseplant because autopilot confused desk objects? Her work routine brain had perfectly reversed the desk object care. The water pitcher was poured directly onto the laptop keyboard. Her fingers attempted typing motions on the plant leaves. Her autopilot had treated both desk objects as interchangeable items. The laptop died immediately from the water damage catastrophically. The houseplant wouldn't respond to typing, despite repeated key pressing. Her desk routine had efficiently destroyed technology while confusing plants. The water laptop typing plant confusion cost thousands in replacement. Her autopilot brain had treated laptop and plant identically. The similar desk presence had defeated proper object treatment completely. Her workplace reputation suffered from the laptop watering incident. Professional competence was questioned after destroying company equipment. The object confusion showed autopilot's complete care procedure blindness. Desk consciousness required object verification before treatment application. The laptop plant watering typing became her work automation disaster story. Her colleagues joked about her belief in plant computing. The autopilot desk care had optimized straight into equipment destruction. Work consciousness meant distinguishing technology from plants before treating. The watering typing confusion taught her autopilot's object care blindness. 40. A teacher took attendance by marking the whiteboard and taught lessons on the attendance sheet because autopilot swapped documentation surfaces. His morning routine brain had reversed the surface purposes completely perfectly. Student names were written on the whiteboard during attendance taking. Today's lesson appeared on the small attendance roster paper. His autopilot had treated both surfaces as interchangeable writing locations. The whiteboard filled with student names instead of lesson content. The tiny attendance sheet contained the entire lesson plan. Students couldn't read the lesson from the small paper document. The attendance records were displayed prominently instead of privately. His classroom routine had efficiently reversed all documentation locations. The confusion lasted most of the period before recognition arrived. His teaching reputation suffered from the surface confusion, obviously. Professional organization required conscious surface verification going forward. The board attendance sheet lesson became his documentation embarrassment. Faculty members questioned his organizational basic competence after incident. His autopilot surface selection had optimized straight into purpose reversal. Classroom consciousness meant verifying surface purposes before writing initiation. The whiteboard attendance lesson confusion showed routine's surface blindness. Administrative staff couldn't process the lesson plan attendance records. The surface reversal taught him autopilot's complete purpose discrimination failure. His morning documentation required substantial conscious attention after disaster. 41. A man tried to wash his hands with his phone and scroll through the soap dispenser because autopilot confused the sink area objects. His bathroom routine brain had perfectly reversed the sink object uses. The phone was held under the running water for washing. His fingers attempted scrolling motions on the soap dispenser. His autopilot had treated both sink objects as interchangeable items. The phone died from water damage within seconds catastrophically. The soap dispenser wouldn't scroll no matter how many swipes. His hygiene routine had efficiently destroyed technology while confusing soap. The water phone scrolling soap confusion cost hundreds in replacement. His autopilot brain had treated phone and dispenser identically. The similar sink presence had defeated proper object use completely. His household reputation suffered from the phone washing incident. Family members questioned his bathroom basic competence after disaster. The object confusion showed autopilot's complete use procedure blindness. Bathroom consciousness required object verification before interaction initiation. The phone soap washing scrolling became his hygiene automation story. His family instituted bathroom supervision after the phone incident. The autopilot sync interaction had optimized straight into technology destruction. Hygiene consciousness meant distinguishing phones from dispensers before using. The washing scrolling confusion taught him autopilot's object interaction blindness. 42. A woman tried to unlock her front door with her credit card and pay for groceries with her house key because autopilot confused transaction items. Her shopping routine brain had perfectly swapped the purchasing and security objects. The credit card was inserted into the door lock repeatedly. The house key was swiped at the checkout payment terminal. Her autopilot had treated both rectangular objects as interchangeable items. The door wouldn't unlock with the credit card, despite efforts. The groceries wouldn't process with the house key payment attempt. Her errands routine had efficiently confused all transaction methods. The checkout line backed up during the key payment attempts. Her neighbor watched the credit card door unlocking from across street. The similar rectangular shapes had defeated proper item use completely. Her shopping reputation suffered from the key payment display. Cashiers were confused by the house key purchase attempt. The transaction confusion showed autopilot's complete item purpose blindness. Shopping consciousness required item verification before transaction attempts. The door credit key payment became her transaction automation story. Her family joked about her payment security confusion constantly. The autopilot transaction items had optimized straight into dual confusion. Purchasing consciousness meant distinguishing keys from cards before using. The unlocking payment confusion taught her autopilot's transaction item blindness. 43. A teacher tried to grade papers with a stapler and staple documents with a red pen because autopilot confused desk tools. His classroom routine brain had perfectly reversed the desk tool purposes. The stapler was used to mark grades on student papers. The red pen attempted to staple documents together. His autopilot had treated both desk tools as interchangeable implements. The papers received staple marks as their grades and feedback. The documents wouldn't bind despite aggressive pen stabbing motions. His desk routine had efficiently confused all tool applications. Students received graded papers full of staple punctures instead of marks. The pen document stapling was equally unsuccessful, obviously. The similar desk tool handling had defeated proper implementation completely. His teaching reputation suffered from the stapler grading incident. Professional tools required conscious verification after the confusion. The grade staple pen document became his desk automation embarrassment. Faculty members questioned his basic tool discrimination abilities. His autopilot tool selection had optimized straight into purpose reversal. Classroom consciousness meant verifying tool purposes before application. The stapler pen grading binding confusion showed routine's tool blindness. Students complained about punctured papers instead of actual grades. The tool reversal taught him autopilot's complete implement discrimination failure. His desk organization required conscious tool attention after disaster clearly. 44. A man tried to eat his wallet and pay with his sandwich because lunch autopilot confused the items perfectly. His restaurant routine brain had perfectly swapped the eating and purchasing objects. The wallet was raised to his mouth for biting repeatedly. The sandwich was presented to the cashier as payment method. His autopilot had treated both objects as interchangeable lunch items. The wallet leather tasted terrible, prompting immediate realization. The sandwich payment wouldn't process at the cash register. His lunch routine had efficiently reversed eating and paying. The wallet eating sandwich payment was witnessed by other diners. His autopilot brain had treated wallet and sandwich identically. The similar lunch handling had defeated proper object use completely. His restaurant reputation suffered from the wallet eating display. Cashiers were baffled by the sandwich payment attempt, obviously. The confusion showed autopilot's complete object purpose discrimination failure. Lunch consciousness required object verification before interaction attempts. The wallet sandwich eating payment became his dining automation story. His friends never let him forget about eating his wallet. The autopilot lunch items had optimized straight into complete confusion. Dining consciousness meant distinguishing food from wallets before using. The eating payment confusion taught him autopilot's object blindness clearly. 45. And finally, a woman tried to vacuum her cat and pet her vacuum cleaner because her cleaning autopilot perfectly reversed the household objects. Her weekend routine brain had completely swapped the cleaning and affection targets. The vacuum was turned on and aimed directly at the terrified cat. Her hand gently petted the vacuum cleaner's plastic body lovingly. The autopilot had treated both household items as interchangeable objects of attention. The cat escaped the vacuum attack, running away traumatized. The vacuum received gentle affection instead of operation guidance. Her cleaning routine had efficiently terrorized pets while loving appliances. The vacuum cat petting vacuum cleaning was witnessed by her family. The cat's terror and her vacuum affection created legendary family stories. Her reputation for pet care and cleaning was questioned simultaneously. The similar weekend handling had defeated proper object treatment completely. Her autopilot brain had optimized cleaning straight into cat terrorizing and appliance affection. Household consciousness required target verification before interaction initiation. The vacuum pet cleaning cat became her home automation disaster story forever. Her family instituted pet protection protocols during her cleaning sessions. The cat refused to be in the same room during vacuum operation afterward. The autopilot object reversal had created both pet trauma and appliance anthropomorphization, proving that running on autopilot sometimes leads to the most spectacularly stupid moments imaginable, where brains completely abandon logic in favor of pure muscular routine, demonstrating that consciousness is more important than efficiency when automation leads to attempting to eat wallets and pet vacuums, and showing that these autopilot disasters reveal how much of our daily existence happens without any actual awareness or intelligent thought processing whatsoever. These autopilot catastrophes demonstrate that our brain's efficiency often comes at the cost of basic situational awareness and common sense. What makes these autopilot moments particularly idiotic is that consciousness would have prevented every single one of these disasters easily. The fundamental truth is that autopilot mode works great until it doesn't. And when it fails in the most entertainingly stupid ways possible. Subscribe if these autopilot disasters made you laugh as much as they made us cringe, and maybe check that your brain is actually engaged before your next routine task.